all I can tell you is just keep putting one foot in front of the other and grinding it out, dude. And whatever is meant to be will happen.
Don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever do that. Move forward and understand that your life is not meant to be in that circle that you have created for yourself, wherever it is. You have got to break the norm.
You have to be ready for the down and how you're going to handle it.
Our whole purpose and objective here is to connect with people.
100%.
When you connect, you get a certain sense of smell and taste, and you're like, okay, this is who I want to be around.
Yeah.
So connection.
I spend more time with my guys than I do with my family.
Yes.
And that's what people don't realize. They are family. Treat them like family. Don't treat them like a number, dude. If you want them to work.
What are some advice to other entrepreneurs that are struggling with their team? Because once you're up and the business is operational, guess what it's all about? It's about workload in your team.
Yeah.
So what have you really learned, dude, to be able to...
I think...
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Success in Motion. We have a phenomenal guest here today, Josh from Recovery Electric, man. It's an honor to have you on to hear your story, dude. Super
Appreciate
excited
you,
about it, dude. It's great. A while back, we kind of got together. We sat down, talked about what you're doing in the community, right?
Yeah.
With Recovery Electric. You're super interesting, dude, and you're embedded inside the community, dude. You're a family man, hard worker, and your character, dude, is just bar none, man. So I sat down. I was like, dude, we got to get together. We got to collaborate. We got to jump on the podcast, right?
You got me blushing already, dude. All these nice things.
Yes, no, it's
that's
crazy.
Cool. My whole life, I didn't get all those things. You know what I mean? So it's cool to like be on the other end of the spectrum and hear some like, wow.
No, it always
Maybe
is.
I am a good guy.
Yeah, no, it always is. And that's what we do, man, is we come in here and we sit down together on a podcast and just talk about progress inside of our stories, because we relate a lot, right?
100%.
Is everybody starts somewhere. Everybody has a journey that starts somewhere. And most of us, entrepreneurs, dude, overcomers, people that are recovering or have recovered and just... progress means stuff to us now. We got an excellent story to share, man. We got to let everybody hear that. But with that being said, dude, we know that, dude, every journey starts somewhere. You know, we're here. Josh is a entrepreneur, business owner with Recovery Electric. But some of the cool things I kind of want to go over and talk about today is these things take place. These things are started by a mindset, right? An intuition and a belief in ourselves. And I kind of just want to go over, dude, in the beginning when you started Recovery Electric, or when you had some aha moments, Josh, in your life, some big turning points. And I know that we all do, right?
Yeah.
And I can almost relate to you. Everybody starts from a rock bottom of some sort.
100%.
So I kind of want to go over, dude, where your story originated from, how it started, some big things that you had to overcome in your life to get you to where you are today, or to even upstart Recovery Electric, man.
Okay.
So talk to us just about kind of in the beginning how it started and some things that you had to overcome,
Yeah. So really, I had quite the life as a young man, really. I mean, my parents are still together. They did everything in their possibility to make me have a great life. Like, we went camping, we went on vacation. We weren't necessarily poor, we weren't rich either, but I got new shoes every year for school. You know what I mean? Like, some kids I know that don't have that. So I don't really have like a tormented past, dude. Like, really, somewhere in, I remember like going in the summer of going into ninth grade, started experimenting with some drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. And for me, forever, I guess I've always wanted that feeling of acceptance. I think for me especially, acceptance was key. I've always wanted that attaboy. I always I still do. You know what I mean? I want to be that dog that gets a treat. Yeah. Like, I want to be that guy. I still want to do good, and I still want people to be like, oh, I'm proud of you, and you're doing good. Like, so that I just like acceptance. And so when I was hanging out with drug addicts and alcoholics, like, you were accepted because you guys were all partying and doing your thing together. And so somewhere in there, I mean, I made it through high school, did all that stuff, played football, did all that normal stuff. And somewhere in there, I got introduced right out of high school into heroin. It was brought to me like as opium. And so I was with this older guy, and I'm like, hey, you want to smoke some opium? And he was like, bro, opium hasn't been on this continent in like 10 years, dude. And I'm like, what's this then? And I showed him. He's like, that's black tar heroin. And I'm like, cool, you want to smoke it? You know? And he was like, yeah, let's smoke it. And so we kind of just rided that out. And I ran that for like 5 years, dude, you know, I started smoking it off oil and then eventually started putting it in my arm. And you escalate things, you know. Someone's like, hey, you're wasting it, you know, if you use this much, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And so you just start escalating, taking things to the next step. And if once you get to know me, that's me. Like deep down in the core, like I always want more. You know, people my whole life have always said, like, are you ever going to be happy? And I'm like, dude, I am happy. I just want more. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I have a 2022 car, but I want a 25. You know, like I always want more. I strive for more. And some people might not think I'm happy, like, or I'm ever going to be happy. I promise you I'm happy and I'm content.
Yeah.
But for me, I always need the next level, dude. Yeah. I have to have next level. Because if not, I'm just going to stay stagnant, dude. I'll just stay stagnant in life. And to me, that's like using drugs. That's what was my life for them 5 years that I was just using drugs. Is I just was stagnant. It was like a day-to-day thing. Like you probably remember Zelda. But like it was like a quest.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Of like, that was my job. How are you going to get high today? Okay, you're high. Now what's on? Go to sleep. Next day. How are you going to get high today? It was like the same boring life just over and over and over again.
Yep.
And it was like I wasn't living, dude.
Yep.
I was just breathing, bro. Just taking up space and air.
Yep. The crazy thing is, dude, is, you know, people that have went through some type of rock bottom, in my opinion, dude, are some of the biggest shakers and movers, entrepreneurs, dude. And I think what Josh is talking about is it's an obsession with a drive of more, dude. Doesn't matter what you're doing, right? It's just more. I want to be better. And some of the stories that I've been able to bring on and some of the people that I've been able to sit in front of, when I get their story and I rewind the tape, dude, they're forged and formed by what they went through, right? And 100%. They flip the script, right? They flip the script through that. So, dude, let's beat in, because now I'm getting excited, dude, about your story. Let's beat into the character, right? That was formed when you came out of that, right?
Yeah, so I got sober February 9th, 2010. My bottom was pretty simple, dude. Like, we talked about it, but I'll share it because I think it's like super important. My bottom was really easy, dude. I was in the dope dealer's house. Like, I'm looking in the bathroom. I like washed my face. I'm high as a kite. And I remember like looking in the mirror and going, dude, you're supposed to be so much more than this. Like, is this at 23 years old? Is this what you wanted? Like, you're just content being a junkie? And then I like snapped back to first, second grade. I don't even remember what grade, but like at some point in elementary school, they ask you like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And dude, and you're like up here, dude. I'm going to be an astronaut. You know, I'm going to be a president. Like, like it's cool because now looking at it, like life hasn't crushed you. You know, in a way, you know what I mean? Like, you haven't been like reality checked. You're so pure, dude, at that age of like, you could be anything. You know what I mean? Like, in your head, like anything is possible. Like, I'm going to touch a star. And like in your head at that age, you think you can touch a star.
Right.
Like that I remember that. And I remember looking in that mirror and going, dude, you didn't put junkie. Like, you didn't write down junkie. And that was it. And like, I think 4 or 5 days later, I just went and I asked for help. You know what I mean? And then we went and did a detox, and we did which is, you know, people don't do it, but we did a 21-day detox at a methadone clinic where my dad drove me every morning at 5 a.m. to get my methadone dose, and then we went to work. You know? And like, my parents and my family are so instrumental in my sobriety and having people that I can rely on. And like, that's what I want to be here for people that don't have people. Like, I was lucky enough to have my parents. Like, I want to be that for them. Like, I want to be able to like walk them through that like part of life, dude, because coming out of that, man, like, it's crazy because we sat down at the methadone clinic and the doctor was like, you know, only 1% of people like last the 21-day detox. And I remember looking that man straight in his face and I go, guess what? I'm that 1%. And my dad grabbed my shoulder, bro, and like tears started coming down my face. Like, you can hear it in my voice. I get emotional talking about it. You know what I mean? But I remember that. And that's the drive I think you're talking about. Like, no one, dude, you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to die proving that I can. Like, that's the forgeness that happened. Because like, dude, people don't understand the stuff you do and the moves you make when you're out there in the drug addiction. Like, most people will never understand it, dude. The people that you befriend, dude, I've stole people's dope and helped them look for it. it's been in my sock. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, where is it? Where is it? You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
so like, and that's like a friend, bro. Like someone I grew up, like, dude, you don't care about no one but yourself. You're the most selfish being that's ever created as a drug addict, really.
Yeah.
And so like, I got lucky enough that like, I don't want to live in self no more, dude. Like,
Right.
I don't want to live in self. Like if I live in self, dude, I'm doing wrong. And I shoot for perfection because that's what our goal is, right? Like you always want to shoot for perfection, but I fall short a ton, dude.
Yeah.
I'm still super selfish. I still, you know, I still let myself down. You know what I mean? Like the way I talk to my wife, the way I talk to my kids. Like I'll be completely honest, bro. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, oh, be that Facebook lifestyle. Like that's what drives me
Right.
nuts, dude.
Yep.
It's like everyone posts all the good stuff on Facebook and everyone's like, man, I wish I was that guy. It's like, nah, dude, we fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My kids misbehave.
Yep.
I overreact. I like fail in business ventures. Like, no, dude, like I live life, but I don't drink anymore when it goes bad.
That's right.
And I don't drink anymore when it goes good either.
Yeah. So a lot of that, dude, it's crazy. Is as the story unfolds, is like these character traits, these beliefs, these assets have accumulated, right? Failing forward, self-awareness,
Yeah.
right? All these certain things are built inside of that struggle that pushes you into a more evolved, different. It's a different dimension, is really what it is, and
dude.
it's sobriety, it's clarity, is what it is, and it's rolling into a different chapter and different phase in your life, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, one of the miraculous things about everybody that struggles from a rock bottom like that is there's you rise yourself to such a level, right, to where you blow past the norm because you want more, and now you've learned the skills through the process.
Oh, yeah. You
And
feel
it rolls-
unstoppable.
Unstoppable. So it rolls into communication skills, leadership skills.
Yeah.
Dude, you're able to strategize more, problem solve on a more.
I think that comes from the self-awareness.
Yeah.
And knowing like how you feel and how you handle things and like, and true to yourself.
Yep.
You know, like a lot of people would be like, bro, that dude's brash.
Yeah.
Like he tells the truth too much.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna BS you, man.
Wow.
I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be. If you're my friend,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna BS you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any service to anyone. You know, and it's
Yeah.
I've lost friends from it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I've lost friends from it, and I've probably missed out on friendship opportunities from it.
Yeah.
And people stay away. I'm not for everyone. I'll be completely honest.
Sure.
And I get it. That's fine. Everyone's not for me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm not going to front. I'm not
Wow.
going to pretend like I'm not perfect. I struggle, dude, just like everyone else, dude.
Yeah.
Just like everyone else. You know, I'm me, and that's not going to change, you know?
Yeah.
I always told my wife, like, on my tombstone, I wanted to say, like, he died an honest man, and then in parentheses say, probably a little bit too honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You know, one big saying I always say, Josh, is if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, dude, me and you are really relatable, right? Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are up high and down low, and I just mean more clarity, more success in business, and I know people that are on their way to get there. But whenever I coach and mentor, because in my mind, you know, coaching and managing is one thing.
Yeah.
But leading and mentoring is another, right? And when
Yeah.
I see somebody, I have to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
I don't fake the funk just like you. And inside of this, I really think, dude, that people respect it and they desire that. That's
Yeah.
really just the truth of it. Man.
It's rough, dude.
Yeah.
Being honest. You know what I mean? Like I could see how it's not for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how people hold back and don't want to say things because they don't want to hurt feelings. And I get it. And I've been there. There's times, dude, like, where of course you're not going to say things that you really want to feel, you know, like there's a gauge and a meter on it for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but really, dude, if you're part of my like crew
Yeah,
and
your
you're
circle.
my people, bro,
Yeah.
I'm doing a disservice to you
Yeah.
by not just shooting you the truth, bro, and telling you like I love you after.
Sure.
Like that's how I'll start it. Like, hey, bro, I love you, but what you're doing is wrong.
Yep.
What you're doing is wrong. And what's crazy is, dude, I had it from the very beginning when I got sober. Like, I remember we were at like a Goodwill store and I was with my sponsor, dude, of all people, bro. And he was changing tags on the Goodwill stuff. And I was like, bro, I don't think we got sober to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had to tell him, like, bro, like, you're my example, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, what if we can't afford it, we can't afford it, bro. It doesn't mean we get to steal it. Like, it's stealing at the end of the day.
Yes, dude.
Like that's what I did as a drug addict, bro.
Yep.
That's old behavior to me, dude.
Yep.
That's old behavior to me.
What message, Josh, do we have to give people that have went through some sort of rock bottom like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That may not be able to see past where they're at in their life, but they know that they could relate to you and your story right now, and they want something more. They want something better. Some of the things I'm picking up in your story right now, Josh, is you never wanted to stop. You know you were meant for more. You wanted more, dude.
Yeah.
And you felt something. I'm getting chills right now talking about it, because at that moment, a lot of us are relatable. We can't see what else is out there. We don't see the business yet. We don't see the perfect family.
Yeah.
We don't see anything
Yeah.
like that. The only thing we have a desire to do is to create clarity, right? To stay sober, but also push forward and do the absolute best that we have. What message do we have to give people that are in those moments?
And I don't. It doesn't even have to be necessarily if you're sober. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like if you've gone through something in life, dude, and like all I can tell you is just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and grinding it out, dude. And whatever is meant to be will happen, bro. Whatever that is. Like,
Yes.
there's times where I question God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where I question, I'm like, bro, right now, really? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
dude, you know what I mean? Like, why? You know, like,
Yeah.
and then a year later, it might be like, oh, that was why. So, like, you have to be in those moments. Like, you're going to get pushed down, bro. You know, you run a
Yes.
bit. Like,
Yes.
it's going to happen. And people are going to hate on you
Yep.
because they're going to see that level of like of love and desire, bro, and like they don't understand it, and so I think they hate on you a little bit. You know what I mean? And then like there's always going to be people that push you down, dude. I was that guy, bro. I remember because I was a drug and alcohol counselor for a while too when I first got sober, and one of the things that stuck with me is hurt people hurt people,
That's right.
and that was me, dude. That was like that was me my whole life, dude. Just
Wow.
stepping on people, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, I think the message is like, no matter what you're going through, dude, it could feel like the most awful thing in life right now. But if you put one foot in the front of the other and do what you're supposed to do, it'll all work out.
Right.
And it's as simple as this, dude. Like tomorrow, every day is a new day. Every minute is a new day for me sometimes. I have to start all the time. You know what I mean? Because I'm angry, mad, sad, whatever it may be. So, like, for me, like, if I had a rough day, I just go to bed and I know what's the next intended step. The next intended step is to wake up in the morning and go to the gym.
Yep.
That's it. Like, it's that simple. Like, get to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, get to the gym, do your workout. Okay, what's next? Go look at this job. Boom, go look at this job. Like, you just continue moving on. Life is, I promise you, the one thing I've learned, life is not going to stop for you. No one cares about you. That was my whole life, dude. Is like, you don't know who Josh Lederer is? What's up? You know what I mean? Like this pride and ego, bro. Like,
Right.
you don't know me? You know what I mean? Like no one knows you, bro. Like no one knows who you are. No one cares, dude. You know, like you're not as hot stuff as you think you are.
Right. Right.
And so like, it's the same when you're going through life. Like
Yeah.
it's the same. No one cares about you as much as you care about you.
That's insane.
And so you have to just one foot in front of the other. What's the next intended step? What's the next intended step? Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, you own a business.
That's right. Yeah, I always look at it. I create this like vision in my mind is like, I call it going dark, right? And when I go dark, man, I put my blinders on and I focus and I have to realize all the pain and suffering that I ever went through. And right now we're talking about a rock bottom, but that relates to men that aren't there for their families that are overworking, people that are overeating, anybody that has an alcoholic program, anything. And this is the thing, when you go dark, you have to create a state of mind, dude, to have undeniable motion. Forward and surrounding yourself with great people, right? And doing what you're talking about every single day. Come up with a game plan, research, move forward. But that mindset, this is the deal, Josh. I think I see this a lot, and I have to mention it. There is a seed that was planted in our brains, dude, when we formed that rock bottom. There was nowhere else to go but up. Like, I don't care, move out of my way. Like, I'm moving up. I don't care what it's going to take. All of a sudden, we found the ability to go one day at a time and then research and then, hold on, I'm going to do this. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go there. That is a hunger and an undeniable force of nature that happens to those people that truly, the word is surrender, right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's insane. And for the message out there for anybody that's listening, what me and Josh are talking about is, Don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever do that. Move forward and understand that your life is not meant to be in that circle that you have created for yourself, wherever it is. You have got to break the norm. You've got to create that massive circle, right?
Yep.
And be able to come up with a structure in your own brain of that forward motion, wanting to do more, be more, speak better, surround yourself around great people. But it's absolutely just a hunger, and always remember and create that state of why you're doing it, of what happened in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that alone is the power source that we operate on.
Yeah.
It really, really is, through the long work hours, dude, or the turbulent times of a disgruntled customer or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. I think also like a key point for me is, dude, like, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up very prideful, very full of ego. I can figure everything out on my own, dude.
Right.
I can figure everything out on my own. And I think, like, if you have the right people around you, dude, like, I know we've only hung out a handful of times, but I know if I was to call you tomorrow and be like, hey, bro, I'm in a tough spot. What do you think?
Yep.
You've instantly become my confidant.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And, like, we can share because we have that bond and that trust. And, like, to me, you're a winner. You know what I mean? And, like, I only surround myself with winners, dude.
Yes.
Like, straight up. There's no reason. And it sucks because sometimes family are losers, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to cut family out, and like, and it sucks. It's tough, but like, I really think like who you surround yourself with and who you can trust to pick you up when you're down, because you're gonna get down, bro.
Right.
There's no way. This thing in life is like a roller coaster: up, down, high, low, up, down. You have to be ready for the down and how you're gonna handle it. And like, we're lucky enough that, like you said, we've been forged, dude. I've already seen the gates of hell.
Yes.
I've been on the gates of death, baby. Like,
Yeah.
I've been there, bro. I know what that's like. It sucks. You know what I mean? And so, like, I've been forged, but like, I wish I would have known that at 18 years old before all that started, right? Like, I got out of high school. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I didn't know anything. And I was so full of like pride and ego in myself that like I couldn't ask no one. Like, when really, like, my dad was right there, dude. Like, he's he's successful, bro. He has a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's not loaded successful. I mean, he's not Rick Ross, right? But like,
Sure.
he's doing great. Like, he's never lost a home. You know what I mean? Like, he's the man. And like, I could have just asked him, like, hey, bro, I'm lost. And I think that's what we forget of, like, we go through school, right?
Yep.
Boom, you're out. Here you go, grown-up time.
Yep.
Wait, what? I just got done partying. You know what I mean? Like, my whole senior year was a party.
Yep.
And now it's like grown-up time. Go get a job, figure it out. Go to college. What are you doing? And I don't think a lot of people know. I really don't think a lot of people know. And I think they need to, like, ask aunts, ask uncles, friends, family members, people that you can trust, people in your community that you respect. And that's, like, really what I hope, like, Recovery Electric is for those kids that are, like, there. And, like, dude, not everyone's meant to be an electrician.
Sure.
Not everyone's meant to be a roofer.
Yep.
But like, I can help lead you in the way, and we'll find out, bro. Like, I know enough trades. Like, come be an electrician for a week. You hate it? I don't care.
Right.
Go be a roofer. You hate it? You might find someone that sticks. Okay,
Yes.
now you know that you're meant to go to college, bro. That you're not, you're not a hands-on person.
That's right.
But at least like you have people you can lean
Wow.
on to find the way, bro. Like, I think I had it. I was just so closed-minded, dude, to it.
Yes.
Like, I had football coaches. I had all these people. I mean, dude, my freaking Pop Warner football coach was an ATF agent. You know what I mean? Like, and I never thought to reach out to him of like, hey, how do I do life? Like,
Right.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, how do I do life? Because you're just lost. Like, you're lost, bro. Like, you're really just, most of us are just lost at that age.
100%. And this is because it's leading into the next question I was going to ask you is, who are some of the biggest positive forces in your life, the mentors and stuff like that. But I want to beat into these kids that are out there. They don't know, and I think the determining factor is making sure that and that's what you're doing. You're creating a doorway, right? Through
100%.
communication, being
Yep.
able to say, hey, you can come check it out if you want. And I get to be a positive force in this young man's life to see if this is going to stick for him.
Whatever it is.
And
dude.
it's those type of things, I believe, in a younger man's life is going to really dictate where he's going to go, how he's going to respond, react, communicate, and stuff like that. But getting into that, dude, is Were there any big moments in your life, dude, maybe before Recovery Electric or in the midst of that these mentors, these coaches, these people, it could be anybody maybe somebody you're following on Instagram, or maybe it was your dad, or maybe it was just your wife, right? There was a super huge supporter in that. Because those things, no matter, I look at that circle around me, right? And I realized if you're not helping me live, if you're not contributing to me, you're taking from me and you're killing me.
Yep.
So I needed to, at a certain point, maybe it was maturity, maybe it was because I learned what it was and what it wasn't, that it was my job, and that's what we're talking about, to bring people in that added value to Matt, added value to Josh. So what people were in your life, what were turning points, dude, that you were just like, okay, wow, I got this now. Now I have all these great people in my life, dude.
I think first and foremost is my family. Like, to start it off, the support of my family, like from day one when I was like, hey, dude, I'm addicted to black tar heroin. And like my mom started crying, my dad started crying. I cried so much I threw up.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And for them to be like, okay, what do we need to do? Like, how do we get better?
Sure.
Like that, dude, my dad taking me every day, 21 days. Gave me a job, told me like, hey, dude, save all your money. I need you to get back on your feet. Go get a car. Save every penny. And I would take his car to meetings, and he'd be like, don't put gas in it. If you put gas in it, I'm going to be mad. But he would also tell me, like, don't screw around with your money. Like, I don't want to see you go and blow money. Like, you don't save your money, get back on your feet. And so, like, that guy, dude, I watched my old man, bro, my whole life do stuff just out of the kindness of his heart, bro. Like, just the most solid, genuine dude there ever is. Like, they don't make them like that no more.
Wow.
They don't. Like, they don't. Those guys are a dying breed, bro. They're a dying breed. You know what I mean? Where, like, he just did stuff to do it. Like, he would drive hours to my grandma's house just to fix her swamp cooler, like, fix her fence. She would call, hey, Bobby, you know what I mean? Like, my grandma Shirley, you know what I mean? The sweetest lady all the time. 2 hours away. Like, fence fell down last night. He's like, I'm on my way. Didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I saw value in his life of, like, what he held. And he coached us in football and was there and he was present and, like, took us camping and, like, tried to, like, just very family oriented, dude. I'm super lucky, bro, that, like, we're family oriented. Like, we still get together. I'm 40 years old almost, and we still get together for, like, someone's birthday. We all go to birthday dinners still.
Wow.
Like, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's, like I said, it's a dying breed. You know what I mean? Like, we used to sit down at a dinner table for dinner. Like, 5 o'clock's dinner time, everyone's at that table. You asked to, like, get up and go to the bathroom, you know? Like, and we were a family, like, and we talked, and like, I think we're losing a little bit of that.
Yep.
And so, like, that guy right there, number one, dude. Number one, him and my mom putting up with me. I never realized how much my parents did for me until I had kids. Straight up, dude.
Yep.
I never noticed the 2-3 jobs they had to, like, provide Christmas and, like, keep a house afloat and make sure there was food in the pantry. Like, I never got it until, like, dude, I can't tell you how many times I call my dad and I'm like, hey, bro, you were right again. Like, thank you. Thank you for all you did, dude. Like, thank you, Mom. I call my mom, thank you. Like, thank you for everything you did. Like, I never realized it until you had a kid, until you're in the thick of it. You're like raising 2 boys and football practice, wrestling practice, baseball practice, flag football. Like, dude, we're go. You know what I mean? And it was like, how did they do it? Like, how did and how did they hold? My mom used to work nights, dude. Like, work a full job, takes the football, work nights just to, like, make it all work, dude, to pay for things.
Yep.
And so, like, that, like, instrumental, like, that I'll always hold on to. Like, that value, that core, that work ethic.
Yes.
Like, my dad never took a sick day, dude. My dad was the guy that was like, if you're going to take a sick day, go do something fun. He would never call in sick. He'd go to work sick. He would call in sick so we can go fishing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, he's like, no. I'm not burning a day to, like, sit at home and be in bed. Like, I'm burning a day. We're going to go do something fun.
Yes.
And so, like, that's, like, what's instilled in me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, instilled in me. And now, where I am at now, right, that got me to where I am now. And so now, guys like you,
Yep.
you know, business owners, successful people, I like to learn. I want to see, like, what are you doing? What's different? How do we make each other grow?
Yes.
This is a partnership, baby. Like, you're growing, I'm growing, we're all growing. Let's make it work.
Yep.
Like, that for me, that, like, where it is, like, and I have some people that are super spiritual, dude.
Yeah.
That, like, I can't understand the amount of spirituality they have. Like the amount of faith in God that they have, I don't understand. And so like those are the people that I like now as an adult and and going through life and I'm like, how do you get your kid to listen so good? Like those are the people that I like look up to. Like, bro, how is your kid so well behaved? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I love my boys, but they're savages, dude.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're probably my karma, but like I watch these kids that are like so well behaved, and like those are the people I'm like, dude, how do you do it?
Yes.
Like those are the people now that I like see. So like, where it came from. You know what I mean? And like where it is now, it's two totally different things.
Yeah.
When I first got sober, my sponsor's sponsor, so my grand sponsor, so to say, right? He had a heart attack, dude. I was 90 days sober. We went and saw him in the hospital, and he's like, I guess I'm not done yet. The Lord still has alcoholics for me to help. Bro, mind blown.
Wow.
That's the first thing he said to us. Nah, there's still people here for me to help. God's not done with me. I'm still here. I'm still here to help people. And I was like, bro, you just had a heart attack. Like, that's what came to your mind? That's like spirituality, dude. I've always wanted that.
Yeah.
Like that sense of like, I'm like, dude, 90 days sober? I was crying over my shoes getting untied. You know what I mean? The fog was still there, dude. Mm-hmm. So like, and still to right now, 15 years sober, I look at that comment and I think, whoa. He had 25 years when that happened. I'm like, hopefully I can get there by 25 years.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Because like I still don't understand how you can have that much faith. Like right now, if I was to have a heart attack, the first thing I would think about is my family.
Yes. Yeah.
And for him to like think about others is the most selfless thing you can ever think about. It's like wild to me. I guess there's more people here for me to help.
Yep. Yeah, super connected, man.
Oh, dude, it's like, I wish I can attain that.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to attain it. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
One day, it might take me 40 years, but I'm going to obtain it. Like you said, like, I've been forged, baby. Like, you tell me I can't do it, I'm going to show you that I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The important thing is the circle has been created, right?
Yeah.
You have these people in here that have inspired and uplift and actually set it in an abundant standard for you for to look at you, right? And I think that's all of our jobs. I always rate everything on a scale of 10. So if I've created the circle, right?
Yeah.
I have my mom, my dad, all these people it's really it's business, but it's family, but it's spiritual.
It's all together, bro.
All together. And on a scale of 1 to 10, where am I at? A 3? How do I get from a 3 to a 10?
100%.
And what defines people, Josh, is I believe, the urgency in which we move forward to find out the why.
Yeah.
How do I connect more? How do I be a better father? How do I be a better business owner? So for anybody that's listening to this stuff, it's like, that is the answer. If I feel like I'm stagnant, it's because the circle that's inside that I've created, there's nobody in it.
There's stagnant.
That's stagnant. There's nobody in it. How do I elevate?
Yeah.
Well, you ever wonder when somebody comes into your life and you look at them and you're in awe like you're talking about?
Yeah.
The one thing that's triggered in your mind is a desire and a curiosity.
How do I get there?
How do I get there? So, dude, that's amazing, man. It's super powerful because so many people, they don't even realize that they've created this circle that's non-present, right? So for somebody that wants more, for somebody that's like abundant or obsessed with growth and just desires more, get out there. That's what I'm getting from your story is get out there, put more people in that circle, right?
Ask for help.
Ask for help.
If you don't understand, just ask, bro.
Yes.
Just ask, dude.
The craziest thing I've also seen, Josh, is this. This is funny. This is crazy. Every business owner, entrepreneur, anybody in the community that's doing anything, it doesn't matter what they are.
Yeah.
If we approach them in any way, shape, or form and we say, dude, I'm just super curious on how you do this. Do you think you could give me some pointers or some help, dude? They want to be of service.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to help.
Sometimes you get those people that are like, nah. You know what I mean? Some people, it's like, oh, bro, whatever. Like, I'm not that guy. There's so much work for everyone.
Yep.
There's an abundance. There's no reason to be stingy, dude.
That's right.
Like, I'm a full person that's like, what goes around comes around. Like, a lot of my spirituality is based on like simple things like that. The golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, very simple things, dude.
Yeah.
Because if I don't keep it simple, I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you on the rarity aspect of it. So with that being said, when you do find these people, you need to click
Suck
up with
on,
them.
bro.
I mean, get them close.
Get
them close.
Be a mud sucker, bro.
Yes.
Stick to them like glue, dude.
And I will say this is a lot of the times through my experience, it's not that there's anything wrong with any people. It's just they haven't created that in their own life.
They're not self-aware, dude.
They're not self-aware. They're
so worried that like you're going to take from them.
Right.
You're so worried that they're going to I'm not.
So
dude, I don't got time for it, bro. I took my whole life, dude.
Yes.
I took from people my whole life, dude. Yeah. And I don't want my kids to see that.
I think what it is here's something to take out of this, Josh. Our whole purpose and objective here is to connect with people.
100%.
When you connect, you get a certain sense of smell and taste, and you're like, okay, this is who I want to be around.
Yeah.
So connection. That's what it's all about. With that being said, I want to move into this, Josh. I want to move into Recovery Electric. I want to move into when it started, how it formed. Okay. The idea, the very first birth of Recovery Electric, dude. How long it's been along, some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome, but the basis of that. How did it get started, dude?
So, union guy. Got in the union, like, I hopped around. Like I said, I was a drug and alcohol counselor.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved helping people. There's just no money in it, man. They don't pay them people good enough.
Right.
And so, at $22 an hour, I just realized like I can't like support a family and a life. Right. Do I ever think I'll go back to it? I would love to. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I don't like cussing, but I'm certified. You know what I mean? And I could go back to it if I ever want to, and it would be a dream of mine to go back to it if I could. I went to AT&T. I was like climbing telephone poles, hooking up people's internet. Then DirecTV bought them, and next thing I know, I'm a TV installer, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, okay, more and more. So then this union job came up, and I got into the union, and I love the union. I think the union is the greatest thing. Like, they teach you the skill sets. They teach you from ground up. You know what I mean? Like proper nailing if it was for you guys, and you know what I mean. And for me, it's like bending and understanding electricity and AC theory, DC, like 5 years of school to make you to me, you're a real electrician.
Yeah.
You're not just some fly by night guy that worked for a company for 3 years and you're starting a company,
Yep.
But what it boiled down to, dude, is like we had our boys, and my oldest boy started playing basketball, and the one thing I don't like about the union, dude, is it's so big that if you're not a yes man, you go down the totem pole. Josh, can you stay late? Yes, sir. Doesn't matter what I had going on, because I know if I didn't say yes, I was going to be the first one to go when layoffs came.
Wow.
And the good thing about the union, right? You get laid off, you go sign the books, they give you a call. Like it's not. That's what's good about the union. Other than that, like I hate to say it, but it's a non-union title, bro. They don't treat you great.
Yeah.
You got bennies and all these things, and they find you work, and that's great. But at the end of the day, like you're just a number, dude. And so how do I stand out from Matt?
Right.
What am I doing extra that makes me better than you, so that when layoffs come, I don't go home and you go home?
Right.
So you become a yes man.
Yep.
Friday, 2:00, you got a dinner appointment with your wife. Can you stay? Yes, sir. Can you work tomorrow? I know your son has a basketball game, but can you work? Yes, sir. I'll be here. And so it was just a grind, dude. And I knew, luckily my dad was he's not a general contractor, but he works for a general contractor building homes. And so he's always told me, like, you got it, dude. I know you got what it takes. You should start a company. You should start a company. You should start a company. And he kind of instilled it a little bit in me. And so finally I'm like, dude, I can't do this no more. I'm going to miss out on these important years of my kids' lives. Like, what I know now from being an adult and having kids is that from essentially 2 years old to, if you're lucky, 14 years old is about the only time you want to spend with your parents.
Yeah.
Right? Straight up.
Yep.
You got kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then at 14 to 23, until you have kids, you want nothing to do with your parents. Until you have kids, and then you come back and, hey, can you help me with this thing? You're right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so, like, there's very limited time that you have with your kids to influence them and be what my dad was for me. Be there, show up, be where he's supposed to be, coach for me, be a man.
Yep.
Show me what a man is. Being responsible, going to work, doing these things. And I just couldn't do it in the union. You know what I mean? I was missing out on these very important life events. Like I could see the tunnel. And so I said, I'm not going to do it no more. We're going to start a business. And so me and my wife had talked about it, and she was like, what are you going to call it? And I knew right away, Recovery Electric. She's like, well, recovery? What do you, Recover Electric? I go, no, babe, it's my whole life is recovery. And she's like, oh, like, you know, she's been with me forever. She knows it. And she's like, it clicked to her. And like, everything I do has a purpose. Like when we chose the logo, like you can see it. So this usually has a sunset in the background, the Arizona sunset. Arizona is super important to me. It's where we got our start with the company. Yeah. So this is actually the little moon and the cactuses is actually the back of the license plates.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
The fist and lightning bolts is a tribute to the Union because that's where I got my start.
Right.
The Union is the fist with the lightning bolts. I changed it up so I couldn't copy them, right?
Yeah.
And the triangle, if you know, I'm a friend of Bill Wilson. So
that's right.
You know what I mean? It was in there.
Yep.
And I knew right away. Like, it was all there. And then, like, what was even cooler is, like, literally that same day I came up with the slogan. She's like, what's the slogan? I go, Recovery Electric, bringing you out of the darkness and into the light. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It just all flowed. And I had that in my phone. I still have the note in my phone of, like, Recovery Electric, slogan, you know what I mean? Like, triangle, fist. You know what I mean? Like these are the things that I like were important to me, and how was I going to incorporate it?
Wow.
You know?
Yep.
And so we moved out to AZ into Dewey, and then I was like in the middle of a bodybuilding show, dude. We'll get another nutcase thing I did one time. I did a bodybuilding show. Yeah. And so I was like going to the gym twice a day. I mean, I got down to under 5% body fat, like completely shredded. And so, like, my mind wasn't there. Like, what people don't realize, like, and I never got a full understanding of it till you do a show of, like, what level you have to get to with the amount of calories you burn, with the amount of calories you eat. Like, your mind don't work. And so I waited till I was done with that before I went and took my test and passed my contractor's test. So then we started actually in January of 24.
Wow.
And so we've been around, what is that, 19, 20 months, something like that?
Yep.
20 months.
That's amazing, dude. When you first got started with this, as you moved forward, right? Because inside of this, I've always believed this. As you're starting something, you have to have, dude, a tremendous amount of confidence, belief, structure. What are some things that you had to overcome that was some failures or some fearful things that you went through in the beginning? Because it's a lot, dude.
Oh.
And so what are some things, when even building, everybody starts off from one point, from point A to get to point B.
Yeah.
And, whether that's creating, your clientele base or getting out there to get a couple different guys. Funding as far as.
So what I can say is you need to have a backup plan no matter what.
Yeah.
You need to have a B and probably a C. Mm-hmm. And for me was I still have my union ticket. I still pay my dues, like in case anything ever falls apart.
Right.
So I could go back to the union. And so that was my first. So we saved up a little bit of money, and we put a little bit of money on our credit cards. Not a little bit of money, a lot of money on our credit cards. You know what I mean? And but I had a backup plan. And then you got to do a budgeting, right? You got to say, this is what we're spending a month. This is what we have to make. House payment, car payments, credit card payments, right? Like you have to
structure.
Dude, you can't just go.
Yes.
As much as you want to just like, oh, I'm going to go take my contractor's test and tomorrow I'm going to be a contractor.
Yeah.
No, you'll fail. You have to have a budget, a game plan. Okay, I need to make $3,000 a week in order for my family to live the way we've been living.
Yes.
Now, if I only make $2,000, that's okay because we're not going to get to go out to dinner as many times as we would like. Right?
Yes.
We get to cut out Starbucks, like cut my wife's Starbucks out, which might end up cutting my balls if I do that. But you know what I mean? But like simple things like that of like, where can we trim the fat, right? Mm-hmm. And so you have to have a plan is very important.
Yes.
What you also have to understand is it's a plan. It's not going to go to plan. Stuff's going to fall apart, and how you react and how you obtain yourself is when it falls apart is going to be okay.
Yep.
You know? And with construction, it's like a roller coaster, baby. 1 week we're crazy, the next week then we're crazy again. You know what I mean? And so you have to be good at a lot of things, budgeting and timing. And the one thing I noticed, dude, is If you say you're going to be somewhere and you say you're going to do something and you do it, everyone will love you.
That's right.
That's it. Say what you're supposed to say, do what you're supposed to do, and be where you're supposed to be. Simple. That's it. That's like life.
Right.
That's not just owning a business. That's anything. Like if I tell my kids I'm going to be at your graduation, I'm going to be there. The only way I'm not is if I get in a car accident on the way there, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there has to be a legit excuse. And that same with the person. If I have a 10 o'clock, I'm going to be there at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I do my best to not give these 4-hour windows, bro, because when I hated a 4-hour window, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be here from 10 to 2? What am I supposed to do 10 to 2? We all have busy lives, bro. So we try to do 1 2-hour windows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people have life, bro. I can't sit around for 4 hours waiting for you, dude.
That's right. Yep. In the beginning, Josh, I got to answer this question because as you're telling me the story, I'm rehearsing my own journey, right?
Yeah.
Were you in the beginning when you start any business up, you know that it has to work in your mind, right?
There's no
There's no like 100%. So were you more driven out of fear of failure or just drive to make sure that it gets done?
I think a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
I think there's a healthy amount of fear, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you tuck your kids in at night.
Right.
You tell me you're not fearful to put food on their table. There's a healthy amount of fear. I think fear is the most corroding and evil thing there ever is.
Right.
Truthfully.
Yep.
Fear is an awful character.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's an awful character defect. It is awful. Now, is there a healthy amount of fear? 100%.
That's right.
There's a healthy amount of pride. There's a healthy amount of ego. All these things are very important to make you self-aware. So to say like I wasn't fearful, it would be a lie.
Right.
You know what I mean? It would be a lie. Like, yeah, I got to come up with this much money a month to make sure all these things come up.
I think any entrepreneur, Josh, this right here, what we're talking about right now is so special because any entrepreneur, any visionary, any believer that's going out that has an idea, no matter where they're going in the world, they have to travel through, okay, I have my family, I have my kids, I have the money in my bank account, and they fear in their mind no matter what. It's a human instinctual feeling.
Yeah.
What if I fail? Inside of that, there is a doorway that you must travel through, and that doorway is risk, no matter what. And to overcome that risk is a belief and confidence inside of yourself and your abilities.
Yes.
There's no possible way to get there unless you walk through that doorway, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a guess, but you correct me if I'm wrong, okay? I'm going to take a guess that when this thing was forged and formed and the foundation was there and you were building your walls, that you didn't take no for an answer. You got out the door. You made it happen. You connected with the right people. You moved to the right places to make sure that it was secure.
100%.
And as you did that, I think inside of this, Josh, listen to this. I think that having that mindset, I always try to go back to adopt that mindset because on a scale of 1 to 10, Matt peaked at a 10 because I was like, dude, we ain't got no walls, guys. We ain't got no windows. We ain't got no doors. Let's go. All of a sudden, there was no 9-hour day. It was a 17-hour day. All of a sudden, dude, he was like, hey, we got 3 leads. We got these 3 people to talk to. Boom, boom, boom. I'm on it. I had to make it happen.
And then what's crazy, right, is what happens when you don't have the leads.
That's right.
You're drumming up work, baby.
That's right.
You're on the phone.
Hustling.
That's it. You're shaking hands at the gym. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking to people. I'm talking to people random at the Safeway, cashier.
Yep.
Like trying to drum up stuff. Like there's like a level, I think, and I don't believe it's in everyone.
Right.
I really don't. I think I have it. I think you have it. People like David Goggins have it.
Yeah.
That no quit, like no matter what.
Yep.
You're gonna go until it's over, and like once you tap into that, dude, like possibilities are crazy.
It's over.
It's crazy because
I've heard so many stories, Josh, dude, about people they want to start a business up and they've saved a little bit of money, right?
Yeah.
And let's say, for instance, example, they're going in to start a coffee shop, right?
Yeah,
They've researched it, they got the building, they know what kind of product they want to sell, right? But they have this job that creates that security for themselves, and they want to do a weekend warrior thing. But what's happening is they're moving into the front of that coffee shop with a 3, not a 10. If they were to quit their job, they show up, it's a reservation. They show up to that coffee shop, a 10, budgeting their money, right? We're not going out to eat tonight. We're not doing this, but guess what they're doing? They're grinding in a way they never have.
No pun intended.
No pun intended, right? So I always, dude, I look at that, whenever I look at people and I go, oh my God, dude, who did he have to turn into to get to where he is today? I look back at that, and every single story that I dive in, Josh, it's because you jumped in 100%.
But that's life for me, dude.
Yeah.
That's not like just business.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're playing football, I'm coaching.
Right.
Like, dude, my kids wrestle out here. Okay, I didn't grow up wrestling. Just wasn't a thing where I came from. I hate it because I don't understand it, and nothing's worse to me than when my son is on the ground and I'm that dad going, "Just get up, dude.
Yeah.
Just get up," and he's looking at me like, "Don't you think if I could get up, I would get up, bro?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not teaching them the basics and fundamentals because I don't know it. So you know what I did? I started wrestling on Saturday mornings with the middle school coach. And I told him, I want you to put me on the ground. I want you to put me in bad positions, and I want to learn how to get out. I don't need to learn takedowns because they're going to teach him that.
Yep.
What I need to learn is how to get out of trouble. And that's just who I am. Like, we're full throttle, baby. Like, dude, it's crazy, the bodybuilding thing, right? So, like, I never had abs my whole life. Never had abs my whole life. Always wanted them. Always been a gym rat since I got sober. Like, just a gym guy. There's some sort of spirituality in there for me.
Sure.
Okay? So one of the trainers was there, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, how long would it take me to get abs?" And he's like, "I don't know, take your shirt off." Middle of the gym, shirt off. He's like, "I get you abs in 12 weeks. I go, "No way, dude." He goes, "I can get you abs in 12 weeks. And I go, "Okay, let's do it." He goes, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah, let's do it." He goes, "Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well do a bodybuilding show." I go, "Okay, let's do it." He's like, "Well, the bodybuilding show's 13 weeks out." I go, "Perfect. You said you only need 12. That's just who I am. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then literally that next, dude, that was like Friday. He's like, "Go have your fun because come Monday, it's on." And so every morning for 12 weeks, dude, I jumped on that Stairmaster and burned 800 calories. Towards the end, to make my weight, I burned 1,200 calories a day, and I was only eating 1,400 calories a day.
Unreal, dude.
So in 12 weeks, 13 weeks, it's like 12 and a half, I went from 212 pounds to 172 pounds
That's insane, dude.
in 13 weeks, and stepped on stage and got second place at my first bodybuilding show. But you know where the sickness is, dude? This is the sickness, right? I mean, completely shredded, bro. I'll show you pictures after. You'll be like, "Holy smokes, dude." Like, it was absurd, dude. Like, abs I didn't know existed, bro.
Wow.
Okay? Here's the sick part. Got second place. You know what that does to a guy like me? Do you know what second place does to a guy like me, dude? Especially when they had this little Arnold, this wooden Arnold first place, and he's like doing the...
Yeah.
I was like, "Bro, I need that first place. I need that first place."
Yep.
So one day when the kids aren't so crazy, I'm going to get that first place.
Absolutely.
Because it took too much out of it. Let me tell you, dude, every meal, I would be at Chili's. We would go to Chili's for dinner. They're like, "What do you want?" I'd be like, "I'll have a salad." I'm like, "Just lettuce." And I'm like, "In a lemon." And they're like, "Well, what kind of dressing?" I'm like, "No, that's the lemon. That's my dressing." Because that was like the only thing I could eat there.
Wow.
Because I was that strict on a diet.
Unbelievable.
And I'd be sitting there, and my kids would be eating that cookie ice cream thing, just guzzling it down, and chips and salsa, bro. And I'd just be sitting there miserable, dude. We'd go to birthday parties, bro, and I'd be the guy with my food in the corner. Dude, They had a 90s, like totally my gig, bro. They had a 90s themed birthday party, dude. And she had this table full of snacks, and it had like pizza bites, like those Totino's pizza rolls, like Dunkaroos, like all the stuff I grew up as a kid that like I wish I had in my snack closet.
Yes.
On one table, bro, and I'm in the middle of show. Drinking my water. Just drinking my water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that level of dedication, dude.
Discipline is what it
Oh,
is.
bro.
The dedication, discipline.
But it's the same in business, and it's the same in life, dude. Like if you can't handle that, then you're not living to your true potential.
That's right.
I don't believe you're really living to your true potential.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Josh.
Yeah.
Through your journey, when you started Recovery Electric, right?
Yeah.
Your discipline and leadership,
Yeah.
right, was at a level. When you started to get into Recovery Electric, did it shift and change? Did it evolve into more when you started to have guys underneath you to take care of people? Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about your team. Let's talk about, I know this, dude. And before we started, you were talking about, these vans and all these vehicles that you've built inside the company.
Yeah.
And it's astonishing, man. You talked about a guy that you're working with. I know for me personally, dude, my leadership development skills, dude, my communication, rose to a level that I couldn't even believe when I started to get into business, man. Talk about that for a second, about just that involvement.
So first off, like, and this is me to my core, it's not just work, it's life.
Yeah.
You take care of me, I'm going to take care of you. If I know you're willing to take your shirt off for me, I'm going to take I will go to battle for you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's just who my character is. And so I got guys on my team like that right now that will go to battle for me, and I will go to battle and make their life as best that I can. As best I can. Like,
Yeah.
we talked about it, before we were setting up, but it's like, dude, if you find those guys that care about your business as much as you do,
Yeah.
you better latch on and make sure they don't want to go nowhere. And you better take care of them. Because most of those guys are their own entrepreneurs and they just start their own business.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you better latch on to those guys, because most of those guys, like, the reason I left the union is because I felt like I wasn't getting treated right. Like, had those guys probably treated me right, I probably would have stayed, dude. I remember I was a third-year apprentice. We were building a Netflix building, dude. I had floors. It was 12. They didn't do a 13th floor, superstition. But they had a 14th floor and a 15th floor. And they pyramided up. I was a third-year apprentice, dude. 65% was what I was making of my general wages. And I was running a crew of 14, dude, as a third-year apprentice. The foreman would introduce my new guys as, hey, this is your apprentice foreman. If you have a problem with it, go back to the hall. Okay? Well, I started getting stressed out, dude. Started getting real stressed out. And I'm like, dude, I'm a third-year apprentice. I'm not making no money. So I went to the superintendent. I said, hey, man, can we talk? He goes, what do you want to talk about? I go, money. He goes, sure. I go, look, man, I'm not asking for much, but can you bump me up to 85%? So the way the union works is you go to 85% and you hold out there until you finish the apprenticeship. Once you finish the apprenticeship, you turn it out to 100%. So I asked for a 20% raise. I said, can you give me a 20% raise until I journey out, and then we'll talk about foreman rate. I'm just super stressed out. And you know what he told me? You know how many people would love to have your opportunity? You know how many people would love to have this opportunity we are giving you? And if you're a guy like me, you think, F you, I'm out.
Right.
You know? And that's life, bro. The squeaky wheel, it either gets lubed up
That's right.
or it gets replaced.
That's right.
There's two options if you're the squeaky wheel. You know what I mean? And I was a squeaky wheel, and they just replaced me. And then that was it. I was done. I told him, all right, fine. Then I want to be a third-year apprentice. I want a journeyman to show me what I'm supposed to be doing. He's like, what do you mean show me what you're supposed to do? You're running the whole crew. I go, dude, if you're gonna pay me like a third-year apprentice, then I'm gonna treat you guys like I'm a third-year apprentice. And that was the beginning and the end for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that goes back to, like, you find these guys that care, dude. You better take care of them, dude. Because most of the time, if you talk to business owners, they start their own business because they felt unwanted, unneeded, and they felt like they could do a better job.
Well, that's the most powerful thing you've said so far, Josh. That's the reality of it, dude. So let's dive into this a little bit more, because it's super, super interesting to me. Everybody wants to feel like they're a part of the team.
How do we start the conversation today?
Yeah.
I've always wanted an attaboy. That's all we all want.
Yes. Camaraderie goes with that. Loyalty comes into that. But I do believe this, man. Like, if you have a team out there, whether it's small or big, number one, positive communication, hey, appreciation of, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. You talked a little while ago about giving a gift to a guy, right?
Yep.
And that right there is everything. Not only that, dude, for me, which is we have a little bit more guys. It's about these get-togethers that we do.
We do them.
Yeah, I know.
Quarterly. We do them quarterly.
Getting everybody together. Sense of purpose, right? Camaraderie, family type orientation is huge. So these things, you're absolutely right. I think any business owner or entrepreneur in the world struggles with people coming in and out.
Yeah.
And I think they learn a lesson every single time. And just kind of what you were talking about, the union, people struggle with that because it's okay sometimes to be able to tell somebody no. However, it needs to be followed up with, hey, I love you, and we're going to work with you to get you where you're at.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure that would have
Don't
changed.
come to your guys like that guy came to me.
Right.
You're lucky to have this opportunity. I was like, oh, bro, shut down. Completely, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm out. Like, because that person that you're going to like that doesn't see it that way, or else they wouldn't be coming to you.
Yep.
And, like, you have to be conscientious of this stuff when you run a crew, when you run a business. And, like, what people don't understand, dude, is, like, I spend more time with my guys than I do with my family, bro.
Yes. And
that's what people don't realize. Your work wives, your work buddies,
Yes.
My wife calls my one guy my work wife, but like, dude, I'm with these guys for 8 to 10 hours a day, bro. I see my kids from 4 to 8 o'clock when they go to bed. They get home from school 4 o'clock. They go to bed at 8, and half that time they're at wrestling practice or football practice. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I get to hang out with them. I spend 8 to 10 hours a day with these guys. They are family.
Yes.
Treat them like family.
Yes.
Don't treat them like a number, dude. If you want them to work.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is like teaching guys and teaching, and for everyone, the hardest thing for me to learn is when to turn it on and when to turn it off.
That's right.
Knowing like, we're slow right now. We're going to just cruise, right? We're going to cruise and get through this little weird hump. Oh, we're slammed with work. Turn it on, baby. Back to 100%.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like my guys, I pay them for 8 hours, dude. Whether we do 6 hours, 2 hours of work, they get paid for 8 hours.
Yep.
But the minute you start disrespecting that and not hammering, then you're not getting paid for 8 hours no more. You know, it's a back and forth, right?
Yes.
Like you know, if I'm gonna take my shirt off for you, you better take your shirt off for me.
Yeah. There's a lot, dude. There's so much as we start to dig into this, right?
Oh, bro, we could go for 10 hours, dude.
We could go for 10 hours. What's some advice, pivoting off what we're talking about with the team, with the guys, workload being high or low? What's some advice to other entrepreneurs that are dealing with teams out there besides, hey, take care of your guys, right? Take care of your guys. A lot of people, this is my experience, Josh, too, is remember I talked earlier about the difference in between managing and coaching and mentoring and leading? I've found that some people, every person has a different volume. They can only handle a 4 or a 6 or an 8. Yeah. Sometimes I need to coach them.
Oh, yeah.
Other times I need to mentor them. But most people, bro, they when I mentor them and let them know, like, hey, where are you headed, right? Creating a why, urgency, vision boards for people, or connecting them to something spiritual, whatever that is.
Yeah.
What are some advice to other entrepreneurs that are struggling with their team? Because once you're up and the business is operational, guess what it's all about? It's about workload in your team.
Yeah, yeah.
So what have you really learned, dude, to be able to...
I think it boils back down to knowing yourself.
Right.
Because if you know yourself, then you're going to know how to treat everyone else.
Wow.
Because you're going to know what worked for you and what didn't work for you. And dude, prime example. Guy cuts through a pipe, floods the whole floor, dude, at the thing. And he goes, are you mad at me? I go, dude, well, I'm not excited. Do you know what I mean? Yep. I go, but what is it going to be? What's it going to do for me to tell you you're a dumbass?
Yep.
You already know you're a dumbass.
That's right.
You're beating yourself up. I don't need to beat you up anymore.
Yep.
What's the point, bro? Dude, anyone that's ever treated me that way when I effed up, dude, I've given up. I didn't respect them no more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're like, fuck that guy. That guy's a jerk, dude. And so I think if you know yourself and you can remember, golden rule, baby, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yep.
If you can remember, because everyone messes up. These things are going to happen. They're going to call in when you needed them there that day. How you handle it as an entrepreneur or a business owner will make or break your company to me.
That's a fact, dude. That's a fact. And I like what you said, dude, is because everything, you'll always see me, and I always say this message, I'll always come back to says, your income will never rise above your self-development. And that means no matter what you get yourself into, if you treat people the way you want to be treated, is everything, dude. And with that, I got another question, dude.
Okay.
If someone is listening, is at the stage of change in their life, some pivot point, right, to where they want to change, what advice do you have for them? What advice do you have to change those people, whether they're in a bad spot in their life or they're opening a new business?
You just don't know. You're just in a rut. You're just stuck, and you want to start living.
Yep.
I would say reach out.
Yeah.
I would say that would be my first thing is find someone that can mentor you.
There it is.
Find someone that you respect. Yeah. That can be your confidant, and hang on to them, dude, and let them show you how to live again.
Yes.
Let them show you how to live again. You know what I mean? Because I think my biggest hiccup in life, dude, is knowing when to just ask for help. Hey, I can't do this on my own. I need help. For me, I've always put everything on my shoulders, dude, and I'm always stressed to the gills, got no hair to prove it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm always stressed to the, like, because we do so much, bro. I try to be family oriented. I try to do this. I try to be part of the community. I try to do, try. Bro, the amount of stuff that is on an entrepreneur's or business owner's shoulders, dude, like no one will really ever know.
Yeah.
Like, and so you have to know when to ask for help. And when I was down in the gutter at the gates of hell, the only thing that saved me was asking for help, dude.
Yep. That's what it's all about, dude.
Just asking for help. Surround yourself with winners, dude. The easiest thing you do is surround yourself with winners. If you are not growing my life physically, mentally, or spiritually, I don't need you, bro. I'm too old for it. And if you're 18 and it's time to grow up, then you're too old for it too.
Yeah.
Don't figure it out like I did at, I didn't even figure it out when I first got sober. It probably took me 10 years into sobriety to figure all that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the fog was still there. You forget, like, when you're getting loaded like that, you don't develop. Like, for me, when I got sober at 23, dude, I was still 18 years old. I was still a kid, bro.
Yeah.
I missed out on that 5 years of, like, becoming a man. I was still a kid because I was stuck in that kid stuff.
Yes. No, I love it, dude. I love it. I get it. Dude, it's amazing, dude, to be able to sit down and hear your story, right? Yeah. We've learned, dude, your discipline, your leadership, your ability to grow from rock bottom,
again.
right?
You're making me blush again.
Yes. It's an honor to have you on, dude. Recovery Electric, dude, you mentioned how long it's been going. What are some upcoming events? How do we get a hold of you, right? How do we get a hold of you with a Recovery Electric? Tell everybody that's listening, what Recovery Electric is doing, how to get a hold of you, projects that are new and upcoming, dude.
Yeah, so the easiest way to get a hold is just call the cell, 928-910-5527. You can find us online, recoveryelectricaz.com. All the socials, Recovery Electric. You search Recovery Electric, Facebook, Instagram. We do all that stuff. What we have coming up? I know work-wise. We're actually a sponsor for the Yavapai County Fair next weekend. I think it starts Thursday night. So get out there. They're going to have, bull rat, all the good stuff. The fair has Ferris wheel, all that good stuff. Good crappy food that you can indulge in.
Yes.
Why not? If you're not in show, you better get over there and get some deep fried Oreos.
Yeah.
I think that, like, for now, that's on the schedule. Yeah. I think me and you, we're going to go to the Juvenile Hall in October.
Yes.
Carry the message. You know what I mean?
Dude.
So I try to take people in there to do that kind of stuff. I think it's cool. I don't know if they listen. I don't know if they don't, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point. It's the seed that was planted, right?
Yes, that's what it's all about, Josh, dude. And dude, we've bonded for sure, dude. We're going to create a great relationship, dude. 100%. You've done amazing things, not only in the community, dude, but with Recovery Electric, dude. Yeah. And we appreciate you coming out here, dude, and coming on, dude. Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you.